Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums. With me, your host, Corey Baumeister. As always, brought to you by the lovely folks over at Star City Games, bringing you the best in trading card needs. All right, everyone, this is a blast from the past here. One of Standard's best decks here when Kaladesh was in Standard, which was Mardu Vehicles. Mardu Vehicles, Copycat Combo, Winding Constrictor decks. Those were the pinnacles of decks at the time, and towards the end, it became Saheeli and Mardu Vehicles that were really the only things you could be playing. So it shows the power of some of these cards. This is a lot of Kaladesh cards, and rightfully so, because they are extremely high power levels and extremely fast. So I don't know exactly if this deck is going to stand up to the test of time that Historic has proved. Historic just being so very powerful these days that I'm just very interested in a card like Scrap Heap Scrounger, if that kind of value is still strong enough. But we played 3 awesome matches. Fast forward to any of them below, as well as the deck tech. But I do talk about the matches, and I give you my updated list in the deck tech of what I would play moving forward, trying something a little bit new there. Let me know what you think of it, to give you a visual representation of the changes I would make after playing 3 rounds. So thank you so much, everybody, and enjoy round number 1. All right, and welcome to round number 1 with this blast from the past, Mardu Vehicles on the play, which I can imagine this is exactly what you want to be doing with this deck. One of the finest starts in old school Standard Magic. Toolcraft Exemplar into Scrap Heap Scrounger. I am in. This sounds great. Okay, so of course we dropped this first. Got a little new toys here to play with as well. We'll see if this deck can kind of stand the test of time in this. Another Scrounger, great pickup here. Gonna be pretty, I wouldn't say easy gameplay, but you know, the start of our gameplay is always get creatures down. Heart of Kirin, you know, being the exception, where sometimes you want to get that down before your creatures. It's a nice little song and dance we have to do here. So here, we kind of got to expect either a counterspell or a removal spell in blue-black. Could be Sultai, could just be Dimir control. Either way, playing Scrap Heap Scrounger pre-combat, I think, is going to be the most important thing, because if they kill this at the beginning of combat, yeah, I don't think we still get the boost, because it goes on the stack, and then if they kill it, then it does not receive the boost. So we want to do this for sure, so we can at least get in for 6. Attacking for 6 on turn 3 is nice. Bonecrusher Giant I'm not sold on as being a good card in this list, to be honest. But, you know, we're going to give it a shot as we saw the list so far. Okay. Mind Stone, huh? Our removal spells might not be great. All right, so we're going to go like this. Here's a little trick. Let's go into full control mode, because if they try to kill this, we could exile the other one and still get that artifact boost. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So, it's better than playing Bonecrusher Giant, in my opinion, because we get that immediate boost. And I guess that full control doesn't work like that. All right. Well, in that case, it is actually better to play Bonecrusher, I think. I don't know what more to tell you there. I hit full control. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but that was not cool. Okay. So here I want to take 2. I'm going to bring this back right now. I'm going to try to attack for 7. Now if they kill it, there's not much I can do. Oh, a Thirst. Okay, looks like they're going to be down to essentially 1. Well, they can, never mind, I lied. They can totally get a Fatal Push here. Nice. Bang. Let's go. All right, we'll say go. Now if they play a creature, they're dead. Like a Scarabian God. I don't know what they're up to. All right, let's send 2 upstairs. Stomp. I guess that's an elbow. That's not really a stomp, so that was wrong. That was my biggest misplay so far. I like their year here. That was the year only the greatest of people were born. I'm old, y'all. I'm old, Droppin Baums fans. I'm old. Does this thing look flipped around to you? Isn't that the other way? I think it is. Random. Okay, game number 1 goes to us. Let's see how these numbers work out. I definitely want Kroxa. I don't mind just having more vehicles against a deck that's trying to answer your stuff with spot removal. You always have that choice if you want to animate it or you don't want to animate it. It leads to a nice little song and dance here. Now, here's the big problem though. We only have 3 cards that we really want to bring in against true control decks. Maybe a problem with deck building on our part. We're going to talk about all changes that we would make in the future in the deck tech. And so far I already have ideas. You know, 1 game in here, I would like some duresses just to make the numbers a little bit smoother for how many cards I want to take out. So I'm going to take out Fatal Push and Unlicensed. I'm going to leave in 2 Unlicensed. They got to have some creatures, as well as I really can't bring in anything else. So this is just a product of having to leave them in and assuming they kill us with the Scarab God or something, you know. Otherwise, these are just going to be dead draws, but we will see. Historic's so new, we don't have a metagame to prepare for, and there's not too many true control decks out there. So this wasn't the matchup I had in mind when I tweaked the deck. So could be some changes we want to make depending on how our matches go. Game number 2. Okay. Kroxa and Scrap Heap Scrounger kind of work pretty nicely together, especially with Bowmat as well. It kind of works with both of them. But I'm going to keep this. We have the start of Toolcraft into Scrounger. All right, and Hardicurin. God, I'm already in love with this deck, y'all. All right, turn 1 Toolcraft. Now the question becomes Hardicurin or Scrap Heap Scrounger? We saw Essence Scatters already. Do we think they left in Negate? Maybe. Probably not, though. Do we think they have Censor? Possibility. But we've seen Essence Scatter. We've already been told, I play Essence Scatter. So in this situation, I don't want to play Scrounger. I would much rather play Heart of Kiran. We're going to go for it and see if we're punished. Heart of Kiran. All right. I sense that there was an Essence Scatter here. I like that it hovers here, too. Heart of Kiran was such a powerhouse. A Bomi? Now, I definitely want to be playing some artifacts, and it's just what order? Do I want to just play Scrap Heap Scrounger first? Kind of. So let's set some stops at combat. Let's try to really get this to work this time. Do we care if they censor this? I don't think I'd like to give them the option. Scrounger. Disallow. Okay, not a big deal here. Now we're going to play Bomi. Now, remember this little trick. Let's make sure it works. I haven't done this yet. Okay, I should be in full control. I would like to crew my vehicle. Hello, Heart. Then come on in. Bang. All right, we got it to work this time. It's a lot of power. Mardu Vehicles hits hard. One card that I'm interested in is Skyclave Apparition. Ooh, Gideon. We didn't see negates before. Now, do we want to play one of our Bone Crushers? That's okay. We could play Kroxa as well, and Kroxa does a nice little trick of crewing this. Or we could just play Gideon. Let's read all that Gideon does. Wow. Powerful. Powerful, powerful. The main thing is it does crew Heart of Kiran. So this is the best play. If we want to play the best play, that's what we'd play. The real question is, do we want to try to play around a counter spell? Probably. But to be mana efficient, I think I'm going to go for it. Because next turn, if we draw land, we can go Kroxa, plus bring this back, plus crew. Let's crew this. And it doesn't really matter what we give Indestructible. Guess we might as well give it Lifelink. Okay. Wow, there is no way our opponent is winning this. Yeah, not a chance. That was a beating. Sure, maybe our opponent's deck was not really equipped to beat something that's this fast. But you know what? That's the thing about Historic right now. Historic is so wide open that we're going to catch a lot of people not really able to interact with some of these decks until a metagame comes around. And this may be the deck to really be taking advantage of the ladder right now. We're going to find out in our next 2 rounds. We'll see you soon. Round number 2 with Mardu Vehicles, and on the play yet again. We cannot complain. Let's go. We're going to play first. Oh no. We can complain about this hand though. On the play, it's a little bit too bad. On the draw, I would keep this. And if this was a Godless Shrine, I think I would still keep this because we have 3 1-drops that matter. But only the 1 land. We're going to ship this one back. This hand's much better. We're going to keep... I think I'm just going to get rid of Bone Crusher Giant. I'm starting to think these should just be Skyclave Apparitions. They just don't feel that good to me right now. I definitely want these 5. So it's between Unlicensed and Bone Crusher. And it's just basically what we think we're playing against. And I think Unlicensed is just a little bit better all-around card. So I'm going to go with that. Now the question is, do we want to go 1-drop next turn 1-drop and then on turn 2 play Triome or Triome right away? And I think I want a 1-drop for sure. But here's the real question is, do I want to get Bomat going or start the real beats? And that's the close one. But I think I'm going to lean on Toolcraft because I want to put the planes anyways. That's not a big factor, but don't like to see Swamp. Rakdos Pyromancer. This could be a bad one. Because we don't want to attack with this. Alright, we'll come in with this. We got some sideboard hate, though, so we might be okay. We need a land pretty badly, though. Okay. This will be saved for their Rakdos Pyromancer that'll probably come back eventually. This... before Kaladesh was my favorite deck in Historic by a lot. Okay. Alright, we gotta hope these Toolcrafts are gonna hold up. Toolcraft. Toolcraft. Your go. I mean, this is 9... I mean, if I top deck a land, I unlicense Disintegration that blocker and it's game. You know, if they have nothing, but young peasy. I think it's just the Toolcrafts. Really? They gotta have a Fatal Push, right? Okay, that makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't block with this. They're down to 6? Or they're down to 4, theoretically 1 with this? It's gonna be tricky for them, but Claim to Fame kind of shenanigans can definitely get them there. 1-drops, go! Land. Land. Land, land, land. Nope. But I think we will just cast this right now. Well, if they do have Village Rights, this runs a bit of a foul here, but they kind of get to do that anyways, right? Yeah, we're actually going to do this. Gives us a better idea of what we're up against. Gain a little bit of life. Okay. 2 tokens. So they can kill all my toolcrafts. What if I attack with everything? If I attack with everything, they block 4 of the tokens to the 2 toolcrafts and probably Young Pyromancer to the other toolcraft. Or they block 2 1/1s to the 2 Bowmats, kill 1 of the toolcrafts, block the other, take 3, and then I'm left with... Yeah, I don't know. I think this one's an attack with everything. Not sure about it, though. This does leave us with just a 1/1 if they block here. That is kind of bad. Wow, they're just going to go to 1? Okay. I mean, this isn't lethal any longer, but still. Cling to gain some more life. Okay. Dang it. Still think I want to attack with both here. If they had 2 tokens, of course I wouldn't, but if I can get them to trade Young Pyromancer, I think I'm happy with that. And it's pretty clear they don't have another spell they can cast because they've just been trying to gain life. Okay. Alright. So now we got them in range, but they of course will have the cling again. A Gideon is kind of what we want here. Three new cards. I'm pretty afraid of this matchup, I'm not going to lie. Rakdos Pyromancer has always interacted quite well with creatures when it came to like claim to fame and stuff like that. Ooh, that's a good one. We need to deal with... Oh, they can fame it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then they can kill one of the creatures. That's probably game. That is probably game. Just to guarantee it. I think that's pretty smart. I guess except that gets rid of Cling forever, so that's not the smartest. But I don't think they're going to need that much time. Yep, that's going to do it. We're not going to be able to come back from that. Well, got him down to 1. Pretty close. We got some nice tools in the board here, though. Mainly Cage. I don't know if I want all of them. Probably. Thoughtseizes, I don't think are necessary. Aether Harvester actually seems really good to me. Redcap Melee also seems good. This is a lot of cards to bring in. I think Disintegrations are probably the card, or Bone Crusher. Those are both seem pretty weak to me. Out of the rest of these, I couldn't see any of them besides just bringing back Fatal Push. They do kill you with the creatures, and this kills all of them. So what if we went... Actually, I really like this. What if we just go like this? We still leave our creatures. We have great disruption for them now. And just a ton of removal. We're on the play. We sacrificed our only bad creature, in my opinion. I don't even know if this should be in the deck, like I was saying. I think I would rather see Skyclave Apparition, especially with how the mana base is slanted towards white. That's going to be the main change I'm going to make to the main deck. Skyclave Apparition... At least a 2-2 split, but I think there should be some diversity in that regard. All right, let's do this. Down a game against Rakdos Pyromancer. I'd like to play first. Oh no, another one? This hand is so good if we can draw a land here. We don't even need it next turn, but the turn before for sure. I think that's too big of a risk. You gotta aggressively mulligan with this deck, and this is much better. So, yep, we're gonna keep. We're gonna ditch one of these godless shrines. And to get Bomat going or Toolcraft. The old dilemma. Let's go with Toolcraft. We do need another red for Chandra, but we'll find it. That's a Fabled Passage. We get to attack with Bomat at least once. Okay, that's a plan. I could easily see Hezeret being a little bit more than a one of. Like a two of. I don't want a lot of that card, but... Man, it hits me in the feels attacking with Bomat again, y'all. I love it. Arcanist. Dang it. Yeah, they're just gonna rip us alive here, more than likely. Might need a red. Well, this might just be the fastest dropping bombs in the history of time. Just us getting destroyed, destroying people, and... Alright, anything but like a Fatal Push? Oh god, a Fatal Push is so bad. That's just as bad, if not worse. Mother of God. Our only solace is they're taking a decent chunk of damage here, but... Wow. Yep. Okay. That's actually not bad. It's not great, though. I actually think we have to hold this back. Just draw some cards here to Crew Harvester. We'll see if they block. Alright, draw two. Not great. We'll say go. At least we got a blocker for this. Yikes. I did not think this was going to be a good matchup, but dang, does it feel real bad. Okay. Caraxa. Vessel, okay. They know we can block this. I'm gonna block. They say good game. Okay, let's crew this. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked with that. We'll play this and say go. Hopefully they can't, whatchamacallit, Call of the Death Dwellers. Okay. What do we think they have? They didn't even bring back Luris. Do we think they even have a removal spell for this in their deck? I really don't think so. I think they're trying to get us to attack with something so they can Fatal Push it. I'm not going to give them that opportunity. Otherwise, I don't see what kills this Harvester right now. I'm sure there's going to be something I'm going to know right now that I forget of. A Braid, of course, yep. Dang it. Well, they could have killed that anyways. Yeah, we needed some help off the top, and unfortunately Mardu just does not have that card draw engine besides Chandra. And that is enough to bring back Kroxa. Yeah, we are dead. Dang. What could make this matchup better? Leyline? Wouldn't have helped in this game really that much though, unfortunately. I'll take it. A Braid is just a great card against us. Always has been. Okay. And that's game. All right, everyone. That was a quick beating. We are going to figure out if we can get this 2-1 at least. That match did not feel good. The first match felt insanely good. And it easily could be that kind of polarizing matchups with this deck. Let's find out in our third round. See you soon. All right, in round number 3, everybody, on the draw this time, but we got a sweet one. Bomat and Scroungers, we'll take it. Hello to you as well, and let's battle. Thoughtseize, 2-pair. 2-pair, that's a pretty Thoughtseize-proof hand, to be honest. Scrounger has that long game engine. All right, so we'll start with Bomat. Coming in. All right. Yeah, Skyclave Apparition fights through, or lets Bomat push through as well. So I'm really high on that card moving forward. All right, Joriel is terrifying. I haven't seen that card in Historic. This could be brutal. Okay. I will attack with my Scrounger. Okay, I will play another Scrounger. Breeding Pool tapped and pass. I would not want to sacrifice my hand for 1 card, so no reason to leave a red mana open. Is this an extinction event? A Hydroid Kresos. Okay, that makes sense. It's pretty strong. Well, I definitely think I want to kill Joriel here. All right, let's get in there with the Scroungers. Quite strong. Stomp Joriel. Doesn't matter too much here. We'll go with black, and then we will say go. We'll be able to bring back a Scrounger. Bone Crusher looked pretty good there so far, but any removal spell would have looked pretty good there. All right. So if we get a 1-drop, we can attack with Hezret, if it's worth it. Gideon. Interesting. Do we think they have some kind of counterspell? Not, I mean, maybe, but... All right, let's try for it. Gideon, Blackblade. I want to make this indestructible, I think, just in case they have a Shark. Shark Typhoon for 3. See what you got here. I think that was a great draw. Gideon Blackblade is insane in this deck. Not a sentence I thought I would ever say about any Gideon Blackblade in like any deck. It just hasn't been good enough of a card, but it seems like it has a perfect home with vehicles here. All right, we'll say go, giving ourselves the option to bring a Scrounger back if a creature dies for whatever reason during main phase. Probably wouldn't happen. Okay, now I think it's probably Hezret o'clock here. No double red is the brutal point, but never mind. Sultai had nothing. All right, so here, Kroxa is decent. Some cages are good because it's good against Earl, but you never want to draw 2. And then Noxious Grass seems really good. Disintegrations are awesome. With seeing Joriel, I think I like the stomps. I love Thoughtseizes. Okay, I like a lot of cards. We're going to have to not like a few of them here. We'll take out one Gideon on the draw. Let's take out the Fatal Pushes. So we still want to be aggressive. And maybe we take out the Cage. We have a lot of removal for... Yeah, I don't think Cage is good enough against Sultai. They just can go the control route, which we know they're going to do. They're going to try to kill everything and then play Uro. I think we're just going to have to suck it up and just try to kill the Uro and hope that that's good enough and win with diversity. And let's take out this one Harvester. 3 Hearted Kirans as our vehicles is enough to call us a vehicle deck, right? Right? All right. Maybe the last game of our Droppin Bombs is maybe the fastest one in history. I'll leave that up to y'all to double check it and leave it in the comments if this was indeed the fastest. But this deck, I'm very interested moving forward in just playing on the ladder. I think this is super fun. I love this color combination. It seems fast enough. It seems powerful enough. And most importantly, it seems like it has enough disruptions in the right way when we add Skyclave Apparition. So... I'm going to try this for science because we do have a 2-drop into a 3-drop into a 4-drop essentially. So our curve is good if they play like Joriel. I'm going to try it. It's obviously a little land heavy, but we knew they mulliganed at least once. And never mind, our hand's perfect. Now we got 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Bomi, show us the way. Bang. I guess you can't yell bang when it's only 1 damage. It's just more of a bang. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Stompity, stompity, stomp. All right, I take back everything I was said about Bone Crusher. Skyclave Apparition would have been terrible here. I'm going to try a split. That's going to be my suggestion here, because I do think both of them could be good. Okay. Let's get on in there. We're going to play Bone Crusher here. 4-3 is better than a 3-2. They're both odd. Oh, this is odd as well. So that's kind of a nombo, but, you know, what can we do? If they do Extinction Event, I guess Languish is the mass removal spell in Historic, I think, instead of Extinction Event. Elspeth's Nightmare. Well, let's get that Chandra's Torch of Defiance down. What do you say? Don't draw a spell. Son of a... How unlucky. So much white mana. Don't know if they'll be able to beat that. Take 2. Attack. Take our grass. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna put my grasps on this. No. Ouch. Cycle. Okay. I'm going to play this. Your go. That's a lethal attack. That's a lethal attack. They're missing land drops. Sultai can be slow. Ruh-roh, Reggie. They did exile our graveyard, which was pretty cute there. Only 1 lethal attacker, but if they target it, then this is a lethal attacker. So Extinction Event is what we're most afraid of, but even Languish we didn't care about. Let's go. 2-1. Probably the fastest Droppin Bombs in the history of Droppin Bombs. I'm going to do this a little different this time, y'all. I have some corrections I want to make. So in the deck tech, I'm going to have the revised deck. So remember this. This is the revised deck, not with what I played. So the deck list you're going to be copying is going to be what I just played. Revised deck list is what I'm about to show you, okay? See you there. All right, everybody, welcome to the deck tech here with Mardu Vehicles. Really, really cool deck. Really makes me excited to try to better this deck, try to tweak the numbers, or as Ross would say, massage the numbers a little bit. And this is the changes that I would make. I just said at the last end of that last match that this is not the deck we just played, but this is the changes I made after I played the deck. You know, something I do when I'm testing for Pro Tours, when I'm testing for Mythic Championships, when I'm testing for set championships, SCG events, whatever you have it, after I play with the deck, you know, 4 or 5 matches, first I get a feel for it. And then, you know, you just slightly change the numbers, kind of figure out what worked, what doesn't. And I saw some glaring problems early, and I think I rectified them. So let's talk about the choices here. First, let's talk about the 1-drops here. Toolcraft, Exemplar, and Bomat Courier, both made possible with Kaladesh. 2 incredible 1-drops. They make this deck possible. There's not many good 1-drops just in Historic right now outside of Goblins. Like, there's not a good aggressive deck that's playing 1-drops, really. And these are 2 of the best 1-drops in our modern times in the last 5-6 years or so. So really great to have them, as well as one of the best 1-drops in the history of time, Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is just fantastic, and you notice that most of our lands are black-white, or basically all can produce white. The couple red-white lands that make Thoughtseize a little brutal, and the mana base just in general can be a little bit troublesome, just because this is a very demanding mana base here. But not too hard to cast Thoughtseize there. Very powerful 1-drop. And then let's talk about the removals here. Fatal Push, Licensed Disintegration, Bone Crusher Giant, Skyclave Apparition. Now these, I like the numbers with where they're at right now. Oh, excuse me. I like the numbers with where they're at right now, but I could see any of these being adjusted. You know, if there's a lot of aggressive decks, let's have some more Fatal Pushes. If there's a lot of Marvel, a lot of Sultai, stuff like that, let's have Skyclave Apparition. Great at dealing with Uro, great at dealing with like Marvel, even the 2-drop that creates energy. Sometimes they rely on that energy in the Marvel decks to be able to spin just by playing the Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot. I believe that's it. And then sacking it the next turn. But if we can Skyclave it, that's pretty strong. So I could see more of that card. The only problem is it's kind of a Nombo with Heart of Kirin. You know, it's one of the 3-drops that you can't crew Heart of Kirin, but still okay. Then let's talk about the 2-drops here. Scrap Heap Scrounger and Heart of Kirin. More Kaladesh. This really is a Kaladesh heavy deck. Scrap Heap Scrounger, an incredibly strong card in its day. Now, I don't know if it's powerful enough in Historic, but it seems like it so far. And then Heart of Kirin was dominant. It was one of the best cards in Standard. Even when you had Copycat combo, you know, it was Public Enemy number 2. It was Public Enemy number 2. So another card, I could see that going to a 4 of, to be honest. It's that good. Then let's talk about some of the stickier threats here, the final 3 cards. Gideon Blackblade is the missing piece. I saw this on Twitter, and I was like, oh, of course. You know, it's such high loyalty for a 3 converted mana cost Planeswalker. Now, Heart of Kirin, I think, would have been the best with, like, Oko. You know, but Oko is banned, but that would have just been a dream come true. But Gideon Blackblade does its best Oko impression here, and lets you, like, indestructible Bomat to attack into a battlefield to keep accruing cards. That's excellent. Or lifelink to Heart of Kirin when you're racing another deck. I mean, and I mean indestructible when you're attacking in with a Scrounger. Your opponent only has 3 toughness creatures that would trade with it. Making that so that's not possible is excellent. I think this card is so good in this deck. And then our 4-drops here. 2 Hazoret, 2 Chandras, both good in their certain regards. You know, you want to play Chandra first. Hazoret has that last threat, but Hazoret's really good too if you, like, let's say mulligan to 5 or something. Just getting that going really aggressively can just be game winning. So and then the mana base, pretty solid with the mana base here. All 4 ofs except Blood Crypt and a Triome. Blood Crypt does seem pretty bad to me with all these double white cards, so I could even see maybe a little bit more Triomes, but outside of that, I think I really like the mana base. Let's head to the sideboard here. Let's start with 2 Duress, This is definitely for any control matchup here. I added that because we played against Dimir control, although we smashed him round one. It was a little awkward, right? Like we wanted to take out more removal. We didn't have enough cards. So I added a couple more cards for control. Duress was the first thing I thought of. 6 hand disruption I think seems really good against them. Fatal Push, any aggressive deck, especially on the draw. On the play, you don't want to overload, but like on the draw against goblins, you just got to kill everything. So we can turn into a control deck against other aggro decks when we're on the draw. Grafdigger's Cage, a lot of decks that are either dealing with the graveyard or dealing with the top of the library. Collected Company, Marvel, Rakdos Arcanist, Goblins, a lot of stuff here. So a very versatile card there. You don't want to overdo it, though. You draw 2 of that card, it's usually pretty bad. Noxious Grasp, any green or white permanent. Usually Nissa decks, usually like Sultai, Uro, that kind of stuff. 2 Kroxa, just when you want to go long. Now we have a lot of white lands, but still enough red lands to make it work. I don't like overloading on that card. Plus we don't fill our graveyard super well. So this is a card I have my watch on, or I have my eye on getting out of there. And maybe just putting like another Chandra, another Hazoret, something like that. But for now, I think it's okay. Witch's Vengeance, any tribal deck, goblins in particular, this is for. Harvester, any aggro deck, this is excellent against them. That life swing is so strong. And then one last Chandra for basically aggro decks when you're on the play. And then any control deck, it's excellent against too. So, all right, everyone, that does it for this week's Droppin Bombs. Now a couple words from our lovely sponsors here. First up, Coalesce Apparel. Gotta love them here. I wear these shirts all the time. They're so comfy. Head over to coalesceapparel.shop. Use the gift code SCG to get 10% off one of your purchases. Next up, SCG Premium. Go to StarCityGames.com, click on the Premium tab, sign up. It's only $7.99 a month, and that gains you access to all our top players and personalities and all the great written work that they have. Our YouTube channel, you're watching it right now. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe this video. I really love getting the word out about Dropping Bombs and just showing the support. I really appreciate that. And then the SCG Tour Online begins again this Sunday. Is the final tournament. The qualifiers are Friday and Saturday this week. So looking forward to that. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to this one. So you're lucky if you're trying to skate free. And I believe it's historic this week. So maybe give this a shot. Give this a shot. I'll burn up all your wild cards here and you can hopefully win this SCG and give me a shout out. And then last but not least, a new thing here. We got the holiday sale number 2. It starts on November 16th. So it started a couple days ago if you're watching this the day Droppin Bombs comes out. And ends on November 23rd. So we got a little bit of time and it's 20% off all collectible gaming supplies. So check that out, everybody. All right, I want to thank you so much for watching this week's Droppin Bombs. We'll see you next week.